What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. Hopefully everybody's having a great weekend, watching some spooky flicks. I gotta say, when it comes to your boy here, I have been sick as a dog all week, feeling like absolute trash. I have the flu, I'm currently recovering from it. It started early Monday morning. I missed Monday through Friday from work. It's been rough, but with all the meds and a lot of bed rest and everything, I feel like I'm finally coming back to life. Enough so to try to make this video for you guys. And, I apologize in advance if I seem a bit raspy in my voice or congested, coughing, sweating, all that bullshit. But, the show must go on. As Chucky once said, you can't keep a good guy down. So anyways, as you guys know, this is a physical media channel. We mostly talk about horror flicks here. And I got a pretty good stack, I believe. 11 movies and 2 box sets I want to talk about. And I also have 4 non-horror titles. If you want to check those out, stick around till the end. So some of these I showed in my Severin unboxing. Some of these I showed in my Diabolic DVD unboxing. But most of these I haven't talked about on camera yet. So anyways, the first one is one that was in my Severin unboxing. That is the Inside of Coffin Joe box set. So all these titles on here, I believe 11 or 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 11 movies. I love this opens at the top hat right here. You got 2 movies on each disc. 3 on one of them would have to be. But if you want to see more about this, check it out in my Severin unboxing. I know a big reason I grabbed this was mostly because of the packaging, like how beautiful this is. Hard box and everything. And I believe this first movie, At Midnight I'll Take Your Soul, is the first horror movie ever made in Brazil. So, I don't know, in a weird way with some of these titles I pick up, I feel like I'm kind of preserving a piece of history. I mean, in a way we all are when we pick up physical media, because I don't think it'll ever be done and gone forever, but you guys know what I mean. So, I'm excited to finally dive into these eventually. Alright, next up is one I finally decided to upgrade. I've been the guy preaching for the longest time. I don't want to upgrade everything from Blu-ray to 4K. But I had to pick up this Army of Darkness 4K Steelbook. I'm a sucker for these Scream Factory Steelbooks when the artwork is nice. Like, I don't grab them all. I'm sure most of you guys own this, the 4-disc set. So a couple things made me want to grab this. This is probably my 3rd favorite out of the original trilogy. I prefer 2, 1, then Army of Darkness. But the last time I watched this on Blu-ray, 2 things were that I forgot how much I absolutely love this movie, how funny it is and how good. But how good the Blu-ray looked in general. I remember thinking the 4K probably looks so amazing about this. And I mean, you can't own too much Bruce Campbell. And truth be told, I live in an area in Metro Detroit where my stores with physical media absolutely sucks. But recently, one of the Walmarts, I have 2 in town, it's funny, everybody always refers to it like, did you go to the ghetto Walmart? And I'm like, I can't tell the difference. But we finally got like some Scream Factory and 4Ks and Steelbooks in this little section inside the Walmart. And I knew this was up there, and I was heading to the store that day, and for like a couple days prior, I was like, maybe it's because Best Buy finally is done with all that shit, and I can't get physical media and personal. I had it in my mind, like, I'm not leaving without Army of Darkness on Steelbook. So, the 4K, I gotta check this out. Let me know if you guys have seen the 4K, how good it looks. I know they got the Red Dawn Steelbook up there. I want to pick that up too. Alright, and here's another one. I wish I would have gotten the original. That is the Arrow Enter the Video Store little box set. I missed out when this originally went on release, the actual box set of it. I didn't think it would go so quick. So FOMO is a real thing, and I'm going to open this right now. I won't lie, this was $50, and I totally thought I was going to get like the actual big box set, and I was a little disappointed when I opened it. But truth be told, I don't really have a spot I would want to display that. It's kind of a weird piece, but anyways, there we go. We got the 5 movies in here. Now, I already own Dolls. I know that went out of print. I was lucky enough when I started recollecting it was still in print, and that's one of my favorites I grew up with. But every other one of these I've never seen before. Robot Jox, never seen it. Arena, never seen it. Cellar Dweller, never seen it. Dolls, and I believe, isn't this a upgrade in the scan? I think somebody was telling me that 2K restoration. I'm not sure. I think I heard somebody say this was a better scan, but I love Dolls. It's one of my favorites. Watched it all the time growing up. And The Dungeon Master. So, glad to finally get my hands on these. I would like them to do more releases like that actual box that they put out, the Enter the Video Store box set. The artwork alone is just badass. But yeah, for $50, I can't complain. Been wanting that for a while. Alright, and one that was in my Severn unboxing. I don't have much to say about this, Deadly Games. I got it for like $11 with the other stuff I grabbed. I tried to read the description on the back when I opened this. It does not describe the movie at all. It's like some weird poem. So, I don't know. I just know this is a slasher, and I got it for a good deal with the slip, so I picked it up. Next up is a newer Scream Factory release. We have a Stephen King movie, Thinner. So I'm excited like when, well, I'm not excited about the sticker on the back. That's kind of bullshit. But anyways, Thinner, and then backwards. I've never seen this movie before. I'm just happy that Scream Factory's releasing some new titles on Blu-ray collector's editions, because it gets kind of exhausting with all the re-releases on 4K, so it's nice to get some stuff like this. I know I still need to pick up Funeral Home, but I have never seen this movie. We all know the story about it. Some gypsy puts a curse on some overweight guy, and he ends up losing weight to the point where it's like making him sick. So pretty much the Nutty Professor if it turned into a horror movie. I'm just kidding. But you know what's funny? I remember this on the video shelves my whole childhood growing up, and I never rented it because for some reason I always thought this was a thriller. It always looked to me like a guy in a straight skeleton mask with a switchblade holding up like against like a doorway or something. That's how I always pictured it as like a kid. Like this would be the door, and he's like, I don't know. That's just how I always pictured it. I was never into like thrillers as a kid, you know. So I'm excited to finally check this one out. It's kind of a not really the idea of a movie I'd be into necessarily, but it's creative nonetheless, and I had to pick it up. So I'll do these two first. Raiders of the Living Dead. This is one I got in my Severn. Okay, so the other ones, the box sets weren't my. If I said Severn, that was my mistake. Those were the Diabolic DVD stuff I got from the packages. These are the Severn releases, so I apologize, guys, from the bottom of my heart. So, Raiders of the Living Dead. I wanted to really like this. It looks cool. This was one of the worst zombie movies I've seen in a really long time. This absolutely sucked. So boring, so slow. I'll probably never watch this ever again. One of the selling points was like a kid's going to kill the zombies with like a laser gun, which it turns out is just a cheap way to do no gore. He's just pointing the gun at these guys, and they're just going, they're all falling down, no blood, no gore, and then they just add like a little laser beam afterwards. This movie was terrible. I mean, it looks cool. And then the Dead one, I didn't know much about this when I was talking about it in the unboxing. I mean, it says 4 stars. It's from 1961. I'm still not exactly sure what it's about. Some voodoo guy brings back the zombie. The zombie looks pretty scary in the photos I pulled up on Google before making this video. So I'll probably get to this one sooner or later. I would almost guarantee it's better than Raiders of the Living Dead. How dare you use The Living Dead in such a shitty movie? So here is an interesting one right here. This is a very, very beautiful package for this. De la Morte dell'Amore, The Cemetery Man. Now, I've always heard this was one of the most legendary Italian zombie movies ever. I watched this a couple nights after getting it. And, you know, this was one, like, it's strange. This is a good thing to say about it, that I had to sit on it. Like, I didn't know what to think. But this was okay. It was pretty good. I'll just say straight up, this was not my cup of tea. It was a bit art housey, a bit pretentious for me, but the gore was good. The story was really weird. I have no idea what the hell was going on at the end of this movie. The Grim Reaper, a lot of people said it was the best representation of a Grim Reaper in a movie. I thought he looked good. The characters were fun. You know, the gore was great. I just thought it was a little too art housey for my style. I like a little more sleazy slasher, you know, violent, you know, gory, just shit. But, you know, not bad. I will probably rewatch this. Just, you know, it was good. Like I said, just a little too artsy for me. I had no idea what was going on the third act, but, you know, I'd rewatch it. It was a good movie. Not, like I said, not my style. Now, here is something that is my style. I will admit to you guys that I never got out to the theaters to watch this, and I'm so bummed about that. But I got the Blu-ray when it came out, Thanksgiving. And this is one I've seen some reviews that people were saying it wasn't very good. I absolutely loved this movie. This is just what the doctor ordered. I love slashers. This is a throwback to classic slashers. It delivered in every sense of the way. I heard people say the characters were a little bad. I didn't think they were as bad. The story was great. The kills were great. The killer, the mystery of the killer and everything had me legitimately guessing. The twists, the turns, the way it was around Thanksgiving, just everything about this film I absolutely loved. Like, I remember just being so happy with this movie that when the credits hit with like the way the animation was with the credits to Angel Fuck by the Misfits. I'm a huge Misfits fan. I was just like sitting there smiling. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, I would have been standing up cheering if I was in the theater. And apparently they're going to do another one for Thanksgiving next year. I'm going to be sure to check that one out. And Terrifier 3, we're going to Christmas, like Terrifier movie, and I love this right now because between this and Art the Clown, I'm thinking this was something somebody asked me in the Q&A about a month ago, like what I think the next progression of horror is going to be, and I think we're going to get away from all these remakes to an extent and get more towards like the indie stuff of A24 and hopefully more of like the original iconic killers, because though I'm not a fan of like Megan, I know that character is pretty popular. Then we have what was his name, John something, the Thanksgiving killer, and then like Art the Clown. I think we're going to go back to the classic slashers, I hope. But if you haven't seen this yet, I highly suggest picking it up. I heard it's going to be on Netflix soon. I don't have Netflix, so I wouldn't know. But I say just get the Blu-ray. Always get the Blu-ray, Here's one I showed in my 5 4Ks I suggest you get. That is John Carpenter's The Thing on 4K. I was really hoping we get like a Scream Factory release or something like that. I love my Blu-ray that I have, but this is in my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. Probably my number 2. Top 3 easy. My top 3 are my top 3 favorite horror movies are Return of the Living Dead, or Dawn of the Dead 78, and The Thing. And this is a movie that really looks good in 4K. All the practical effects and the blizzard and all that type of stuff. And it's a film like this, I feel the same way with Army of Darkness, saying I'm not like the biggest fan, but there's certain movies you could just double dip on them, and this is one for me. Like, I'll pretty much get any copy of Return of the Living Dead that ever comes out, Dawn of the Dead, The Thing, or Halloween for that matter. Unbelievable on 4K, one of the greatest movies of all time. I'm waiting for one last blizzard here in Michigan if we get it to throw this on. All right, I just got this one yesterday. You guys, I got tired of waiting. Dead Alive, Brain Dead. So this is a Spanish release. I've just been waiting because there's been rumors of a 4K of Dead Alive and Bad Taste to come out. Peter Jackson's OG horror movies. And the story behind this is pretty much the Blu-ray's been out of print for the longest time and goes for a shit ton of money. And I've just been debating on getting this. I have a region-free player, so I decided why not. I've just been kind of in the mood to watch some of this gory goodness, Dead Alive. I remember actually watching this for the first time at my friend Cliff's house. His sister was into punk rock and a bunch of horror movies. I remember when she left for the night on the weekend, we snuck in her room and he pulled the VHS out and we were watching this, and I'll never forget it. One of the bloodiest movies you'll ever see. This movie is a trip, and I haven't seen it in years. So I'm going to watch this soon, probably when I'm feeling a little better. I don't really want to watch it right now as I'm still a bit sick, but it's like, damn it, I just need a Dead Alive in my collection. What horror collection doesn't have this? It's a must-have. All right, now I have 4 non-horror titles. Now let me know in the comments, guys, if you would rather have me start doing all my titles I get as one, physical media haul, or if you want me to keep the way I've been doing it for years in my, horror movie collection update videos. I'm game for either way. Don't matter to me. Now, something I'm going to show you guys real quick relates to horror. This is not a movie, so this might be kind of random. I am not a gamer whatsoever, but the day I bought Army of Darkness, I picked this up for $20 at Walmart. The Quarry. I suck at video games, but this is like a telltale game where it's pretty much like you're watching a movie the whole time, and it's a throwback to old horror movies. You got David Arquette in here. You got Ted Raimi playing a role as the cop. And I'm only throwing this in here. I'm not going to start doing video game reviews or anything. I just thought this was one I had to briefly talk about. If you're not a gamer and you have a system, I say pick this up, because you're just sitting there watching a movie pretty much, and you're making all the choices, and all these different outcomes can happen by the choices that you make, and you got to go around and search for clues and whatnot. I played this for all night, Sunday night after the wrestling show I did Saturday, And then the Monday, I called off from work with the flu, thinking it was just going to be like a day thing. That's before it got real bad. But I pretty much beat this entire game in 2 days. I just binged it, and I had an absolute blast. It was pretty much like just sitting in the director's chair of a horror movie. I loved it. So much fun. Didn't take shit for skill, really. All right, so now we have 4 movies that are non-horror. First up is one I just showed in the unboxing for Diabolic DVD. That is Kindergarten Cop on 4K. I watched this Tuesday night, I believe. Love it. Absolutely love it. There's so much charm to this movie. One of the most quotable Arnold movies. The potty pooper, you know. I absolutely loved it. You know, I don't really have much more to say about this. Just check it out. Probably one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies of all time. Arnold is the fucking man. I would get those Conan 4Ks from Arrow Video, but I'm just not really into those type of movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. Fucking legend. I love the guy. This movie is so much fun. Then next up, I did like a little bit of a poll on my Facebook asking everybody their favorite movies of all time, and a friend of mine mentioned The Wizard of Oz. I believe this is my sister's favorite movie of all time, and I just thought, you know, you ever get that feeling where it's like, why don't I own this movie? Why don't I own The Wizard of Oz? I grew up watching this all the time, and this is one that goes from black and white to color. 1933, I believe this came out, one of the first movies in color. This is a movie, like, certain films will benefit from 4K more than others. And I just think this one's going to look so good with all the bright colors, like the Yellow Brick Road, that Green Castle, whatever the hell they call it. I don't remember. I haven't seen this movie in easily 10 years. But I thought, this is a classic. I got to own it. Wizard of Oz. Now, here is a suggestion. This was a comment left by Samuel2112. In my 4K suggestion video, he said, not horror, but check out the movie 1917. Some war movie from World War I. And I am not into war movies whatsoever. I don't like them too much at all. But I looked up the trailer to this after he told me about it. And this looked amazing. I thought, this is going to look so good in 4K. So decided to pick this up, 1917. And last but not least, talking about quotable movies, talking about good movies. This just came out Tuesday. This is a movie in my youth I watched over and over and over again. Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. This movie is so much fun right here. I love it. I have the vinyl record. The soundtrack's great. This is just a great stoner comedy. I remember when I was a teenager, my friend Mikhail D, he had like this big like horn or whatever. I don't know what it was. It was something like when he was a kid, like a Boy Scout or something. We made the Bong of Destiny out of it, so that was pretty cool and everything. But like I said, the soundtrack to this, the final showdown alone is absolutely amazing. I just wish they would have made more of these. I know it was kind of a flop in the theaters, but they could have done Tenacious D and the da-da-da-da, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, you know, all these adventure movies with Tenacious D. This is just a slapstick, goofy, buddy, stoner comedy from, you know, a good time in comedy. They don't make movies like this anymore. It's so quotable, so much fun, an absolute blast. Tenacious D in the Pick of Destiny. T-Knock. It's the name of our fucking band, bro. But, yep, those are my pickups. Like I said, let me know if you want me to kind of combine these videos moving forward and just do physical media hauls in general, or if you want me to keep the videos separate. I'm game for whatever. Let me know if you've watched any of these movies. Let me know which ones you think I should check out first, if you want me to review any of these, any of that fun jazz. Other than that, you guys, I want to thank everybody for watching, for subscribing. You know, I'm getting close to 1,000, and that's a pretty big goal of mine. You know, it might not seem like a lot to some people, but if I can hit that 1K, I'm going to be so fucking pumped. So thanks to anybody who has subscribed, anybody who's still watching at this point. Hopefully watch some good shit. Let me know in the comments what you guys have been watching. But other than that, nice to talk to you guys after just sitting on the couch sick as shit all week. But other than that, I'm going to lay down now. Blood, Guts, Gore. Check you guys next time.